Today we have with us the 2021 Tata Altroz iTurbo, in which I stands for intelligent. And in this review, we're going to give you a detailed overview of this car, talking about the styling, the features, the practicality, the comfort, the pricing, and last but not the least, the driving experience of this car as well. And we're going to figure out whether the iTurbo is actually worth buying or not. But before we start, a little overview of the iTurbo. The Tata Altroz was first launched in 2020, and although it was a great car, the only problem that people had with it was that they were saying that the car was underpowered. Well, Tata listened to those people rather quickly, because in 2021, they released the iTurbo, which is now essentially a Tata Altroz but with a turbocharged engine. Also, don't forget to press that red subscribe button so you don't miss out on any video from our channel. And our channel USP is to provide you with the most detailed reviews and honest reviews for any car we have. And now, with that said, finally let's start with the review of the iTurbo. Let's kick off this review with the styling of the Tata Altroz iTurbo. Now, like I said in the beginning as well, this car is based on the Tata Altroz because it's just the turbocharged variant of the Altroz. That's why the styling of this car is pretty much the same. But if we still were to talk about some styling cues of this car, for example, the grille has been slanting inwards of this car, which gives this car a very aggressive look. And the Tata logo obviously is protruding outwards, just to tell you that this is a Tata car. Talking about the headlamps, they have that very Tata distinguishable look in which they have been divided into two parts. The DRLs and the fog lamps have been given over here, whereas the headlamps are in the top portion. And other than that, it's a pretty simple looking car, and for a family car, that is very nice. But being a turbocharged sporty car as well, the aggressive looks suits this car very nicely. But coming to the side profile of this car, that aggressive characteristic has been moved on over here as well. You can see the accentuating lines given over here on the bottom part of this car. Looks very nice. Talking about the alloy wheels, we have 16-inch diamond cut alloy wheels, which not to mention give a very nice look to this car. Now, the ORVMs of this car, something that I really like is that the way that they've been integrated with the car, that is completely finished in chrome, which gives this car a very opulent feel, and that is something that I like. Now, the turn indicator in this car has been integrated within the front fender. It would have been nice if it would have been integrated with the ORVMs, but still it doesn't look too bad. It's not protruding too much. That's why it gives a very flush line to the car, and once again, not a big deal as well. But one thing that I really do like about the Altroz is that the door handle for the front gate, that's very normal like in any other car, but for the rear gate, it's actually been integrated within the window sill over here, so that it doesn't have a protruding design and goes with the aerodynamics of this car, and it's actually been given over here to open the door, which makes it pretty simple to open it. Also, some other things that I like about this car is, you may have seen in many cars they give a chrome garnish around the windowsills, but Tata has actually given you a gloss garnish around the whole windowsill, which looks quite nice, especially with this color of the Tata Altroz. Now, that black garnish has continued to the rear side as well. As you can see near the taillights of this car, the whole bottom part and even this around this Tata logo, everything has been given that black garnish, again giving this car a very nice look. The Altroz badging has also been integrated within that black garnish, and another thing that I really like about this car is that the back camera of this car has been integrated within that black garnish as well. Now, that black garnish and the black camera merge in really well, and it's kind of really hard to find out where the camera of the Altroz is. But other than that, the rear side of the Tata Altroz is very simple. We have the third brake light over here, we have a rear wiper over here, which is expected from a hatchback. The fog light of this car has been given right there alongside two reflectors. Now, I've been blabbering on about how this car has been turbocharged, how this car has a performance-based engine now. But this time, let's talk about the actual performance number and what this car is capable of producing. The previous Altroz had a 1.2 litre petrol engine capable of producing around about 86 horsepower, which is not bad. But the turbocharged petrol engine, this once again is a 1.2 litre petrol engine from the previous Altroz, but it has been turbocharged to produce 108.5 horsepower. which is an additional almost 20% power from the previous Altroz. Talking about the torque numbers of this car, it can produce a maximum torque of 140 Newton meters, and for a hatchback, for a family hatchback, 108.5 and 140 Newton meters, those are large numbers, especially for this car. And the complaint that people had from the previous Altroz that it's underpowered, that is no longer here. Talking about the mileage of this car, previously the Altroz could produce around about 19 kmpl. Well, this time around, yes, the mileage has dropped to 18, but still you're getting a lot more power for not that much fuel. Overall, I am all in for this turbo petrol. Now we're going to start with the features of this car outside, and then we're going to move inside the car. And outside the car, I have to say that this has to be one of my favorite features, not only of the Altroz iTurbo, but of any car I have reviewed on this channel. So for that, we need to get rid of this car key, and I'm going to pass it on to my cameraman. And this is the feature that I want to talk about. This is a smart band that you get with the top model of the Tata Altroz iTurbo, and it has Altroz written on it. Now, for example, you forget the key at home, all you need is this band. If you've got this band on your wrist, you don't need the key of this car. I'm going to open the car like that. It was already unlocked, but if I want to lock it as well, I can lock it from here, move away from the car, and the car is going to stay locked. Similarly, I don't have the key with me, just press this button, the car is going to unlock because I have the smart band with me. I can sit inside the car, I can start the car as well. Anything I want to do, it's just with this band. And this feature alone takes away any kind of hassle you have with a key. I mean, yes, smart keys were a really nice thing because you didn't need to insert the key in the car, but this is actually taking it to a whole new level. And I have to say, this is pretty cool. We're going to start off the features of this car with the steering wheel. It is a beautiful leather wrap steering wheel everywhere, which is nice. It's a multifunction steering wheel as well. We have these buttons for this display. We have these buttons for this display, which we will come to later. Now, another thing that I really like about the steering wheel is that not only is this part just the horn, you can also press the horn from this side and from this side as well, which is kind of unique, and I've not seen it in any other car. But talking about some other things such as this button over here, this is actually for controlling other things such as if you want to turn on Bluetooth audio, you want to turn on USB audio, you want to turn on FM, AM, all those stuff can be done from this button. It's like the mode button of this car. We have track tuning buttons over here, we have the volume controls over here, we have voice command in this car, which is really nice because not only can it understand English, but it can also understand Hindi, which we will be giving you a small little demo in a very short while. We have the call ending button, call picking up, and the mute switch all in all in this very button over here. We're talking about these buttons. We have the cruise control buttons over here, but then we have these buttons and this button for controlling this display. So let me first talk about this display and let me give you the demo of the voice command. For example, if I press this button, I'm feeling hot.
Sure, decreasing AC to 18.
So as you can see, the temperature has been turned on to 18 now. Similarly, it can also understand Hindi because this is a car for the Indian market. So adding that language is a big step. So if we press this button and I say, मुझे ठंड लग रही है.
ओके, एसी का तापमान बढ़ाकर 19.5 किया जा रहा है.
So as you can see, the temperature has now been done to 19.5, which is really cool. And this is not only the some commands you can say, you can actually open up a whole library. If I show you, press this button and it can tell you all the commands that you can do. For example, you have the main commands, phone commands, media commands, radio commands, climate commands, navigation commands, vehicle commands. And when you press in, for example, if you turn on vehicle commands, it shows you can ask these three things. Similarly, in navigation commands, you can ask for these three things. So really nice, and voice command really does help you a lot while you're driving the car. So that was the voice command. But if you talk about this display in general, we have the home button over here. Clicking on that, it takes us back to the home. And from this home screen, you can see you have a lot of commands over here. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, USB, voice commands, every single thing in this car that you may require. Another great thing is that you also have ambient lighting in this car, which is this small little blue strip. I don't know if you can see it. You can see it from this side. It just only has one color, but still you have ambient lighting. That is a big deal, especially in the price point that this car comes in. So that is very nice. You can adjust the brightness from over here. You can turn it off if you want to. Then you also have other lighting conditions like the DRLs of this car. You can change it from there. You also have Doodle, which is a really cool feature. When you press this, you can actually change few things like the startup image. Like when this car starts, first of all, it shows you the Tata animation. But if you want to change that, you can do it from here. You have My Sticker. So if you activate it, you can actually change the sticker from the Connect Next app, because this is the iTurbo, in which I stands for intelligent. So this car is a connected car, and that's what makes it intelligent. And a connected car has a lot of features of its own. For example, you can lock the car, unlock the car from anywhere. You can know the status of your car. You have a geofencing, you have valet mode. All those features are a part of connected car, which I really do like. But then again, if you want to know what sticker is, you can change like you can call it like your profile picture. So as you can see right now, the profile picture is nothing. That's why it's showing you anonymous man, but you can change it from the Connect Next app, and then you can show anything you want. Anyways, moving on further, you also have other things such as Park Assist, which is a very nice feature. When you press this, as you can see, it gives you a whole backup camera, but then it is also adjustable according to the steering wheel. It shows you the guidelines of how the car would be when you're adjusting the steering wheel of the car in real time. Also a very great feature and a safety feature, and safety is something that we're going to talk about in the last segment of our features. Then we have other things such as sound demo, phone setup, and all the very standard things that you can get in any other display as well. Now, one thing that I would love to say about this display is that they have changed it from the previous Altroz, and that is a big step up, because the display is now much more responsive, which is very nice, easy to use. The UI is user friendly, which is a big deal, obviously in the nice standpoint. Now let's talk about this display. Fairly standard. You have the tachometer over here, you have the speedometer over there, you have the mode that you're driving this car in. Yes, that's right, this car actually has driving modes. This is the city mode, and in the normal Altroz you actually get a eco mode for better fuel economy, but this being the sports variant, you have sport mode and not eco mode. When you press this, the car also gives you an alert.
Sport drive mode activated.
Similarly, you can see now the car has been writing sport over here as well, showing you yes, you definitely are in sport mode. Then using these buttons, you can control things in this display. Right now you can see the instant fuel economy, but the car is not driving. That is why it's not showing anything on that graph. You then have trip A, trip B, which are the odometers of the car. And then last but not the least, we also have the power and torque figures of this car in real time. So for example, if I give this car some revs, as you can see, the torque meter is actually moving in real time. Similarly, if we were actually driving this car, you can also see the power meter and how much horsepower the car is using at a particular time. So all in all, this is also very responsive, and it gives a lot of features and information to the driver, which is very nice. Now, one other feature that I really like about this car is the express cooling. You press this button and have a look at what happens.
Express cooling on. Windows may roll down.
So you can see the air speed has now increased to its full. I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone, but then the window has actually also moved down. So this feature is especially cool if you're living in India and it's a very hot day. So what this car does, just press the express cooling button, the windows automatically roll down to let the hot air outside the car. The windows, the AC is at full blast for giving you cold air, so that the car can be as cool as possible. And this is especially a very nice feature. I mean, this shows that Tata actually thinks about a lot of the Indian market. I mean, they have thought about even the smallest little detail, such as express cooling, and once again, I highly appreciate it. Now, the final segment of the features of this car has to do with the safety. The Tata Altroz is one of the safest hatchbacks in India, with a full-on 5/5 safety rating, which says a lot. And this is not just for the Tata Altroz. It has to do with any kind of Tata car. Talk about the Tata Nexon, talk about this car. Like seriously, any Tata new car that you've seen, the safety ratings for all those cars have been 5/5, which says something not only for this car, but the Tata brand itself. In this car, you have that safety rating of 5/5, but you also have some other features such as rain sensing wipers, automatic headlamps, all that stuff not only gives you the satisfaction that you're in a safe car, but also takes away the hassle of all those stuff and makes your life easier. Now, starting with the practicality, we're going to start with the glove box in this car. Let's open it, and as you can see, this has to be one of the biggest glove box I have seen in any car, and highly organized as well. You can see we have a separate storage cubby over here for like keeping documents and stuff. This is like the actual storage cubby in which you can keep a lot of stuff over here. The owner's manual has a separate cubby, as you can see over here. We have a card holder over here. You have coin holders over there and there. I mean, everything has been organized in such a great manner, and I mean, seriously, just looking at the space alone, you can stuff a lot of things over here. It's the similar kind of story in the center console storage. This is one of the largest storage cubbies I have seen in a car that I've reviewed. I mean, seriously, not only can you keep your phone over here, you can keep like bottles, anything that you really want over here without a problem. I mean, just look at the sheer length, height and width of it. Moving behind the gear selector, you have two cup holders over here for keeping two cups for the front passengers, and then we also have this armrest which is adjustable, and then you can also open it, which is actually secured by a magnet, as you can see. And then this is a storage cubby over here. It is slanting, so it's a weird kind of shape, but then again, the storage cubby is pretty sufficient for keeping any kind of stuff that you may require in a car. Now, talking about the door pockets, you can see they have been divided into two parts over here. You can keep like a bottle over there for like a 1 liter bottle, and then you have some storage cubbies over there as well, which is pretty deep, and you can stuff things over there as well. Now, last but not the least, if you talk about connectivity in this car, you have a USB port not only for charging your phone but also for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto over here. Then you also have a 12-volt charging socket over here. Now, coming to the rear seats in this car, we have seat pockets for the driver and for the passenger side seat over there as well. Coming to the middle console over here, you have a 12-volt charging socket for charging your phones for the rear seat passengers, and then you also have this slot over here, which I think is for keeping your phone, but it's going to protrude out like that. So if you're okay with your phone protruding out like that, you can keep it there. But the middle seat of this car also acts as an armrest, and as you can see, the armrest is just a simple armrest completely made of leather, and there is no kind of storage cubby in this. But a place where we do have some storage is over here. As you can see, it is for keeping like a bottle over there, and you can keep a bottle in a slanted orientation over here, and then you have the small little storage cubby over here for keeping some random stuff. Now, coming to the most important part of our practicality session, which has to do with the trunk. First, let's talk about opening this trunk, and we actually have 3 ways, but the main way is the first one, and I'll explain what I'm trying to say over here. When we talk about opening this trunk, we have first off the request sensor, which is given underneath this Tata logo. Second is a button given on the key fob of this car. But what happens with that is that it only unlocks the trunk. You have to open the trunk by pressing the button and then opening it. And the third way is with this band. Like I showed you in the feature segment as well, this band kind of has control of the whole car. So that means if this band is in close proximity with this car and I press the button over here, it opens the trunk for us. So just like I said, the main way to open this trunk is just from the request sensor, but the way to unlock the trunk, you have 2 more ways, giving us a total of 3. But talking about the actual trunk space, the Altroz has the largest trunk in its segment, a 345 liter boot space, which is something that I really like about this car, which gives you like the capability to go for a long road trip with a whole family without any problem. So practicality wise, all in all, I can say that this car is really well done. Also, another thing about this trunk that I really like is that we also have a cargo tray in this trunk, which can be removed like so. It's pretty sturdy, as you can see. You can keep some stuff over there as well. But however perfect a trunk may be, there is one disadvantage to this trunk, and that is the loading lip of this car. It's actually huge. As you can see, it's like a foot long. So the loading lip of this car is very large according to my likings. If they would have made that a little smaller, this car would have been perfect in terms of practicality. Now, probably this may be the most important segment for any car really, and that is the comfort of this car. Now, my initial impressions for this car would be the perforated leather seats in this car. They are really soft, comfortable. I get gripped into my seat really well, given that this is the performance variant, that is the turbocharged engine. If I want to go for a spirited drive, the seats will keep me in place and I won't be hanging around, dangling around the car anywhere. So that is very nice. Talking about some other features for the driver, we have an adjustable steering wheel. As you can see, it is manual, but it's okay. Being the front seats, obviously I can move the seat back and forth, the backrest back and forth however I want. I can even adjust the height of the seat. All of the seats controls are manual, but then again, given the price of this car, that is completely fine. There is no kind of problem anywhere. But if we come to like the honesty part, front seats of any car are very comfortable because we have a lot of customization. I can customize the seat anywhere I want. I can move the seat back and forth. I can adjust the backrest back and forth. So the front seats of any car are very comfortable. The story really changes when it comes to the rear seats. We have to talk about the space. You cannot change how the orientation of the rear seats is. So let's move on to the rear seats of the Altroz and see what the type of comfort there is back there. So finally in the rear seats of this car, and you can see that we have a lot of legroom in this car. I mean, that is pretty commendable. Given this is a hatchback, a compact hatchback, this is really nice, like 6 or 7 inches of legroom for a 6'1" person and 6'1". That is very nice. Talking about the headroom, well, because of this bubble cutout for in top of my head, I have about 2 inches of headroom as well. So space wise, there has to be absolutely no problem in this car. I am very well satisfied from the space. The seat material is obviously the same as the front ones. They have the same perforated leather seats in the back as well. So they are soft, comfortable, grip me really well. Moving into the middle seat of this car, something that I again really like about this car is that the transmission tunnel, which is almost negligible. I mean, I can keep my both legs over here as well, so you can easily seat 3 passengers over here without a problem. Going for a long road trip in the Tata Altroz is absolutely going to be crazy. And given that this is the turbocharged variant, you can go for pretty cool spirited drives along with your friends as well. Now we're not done with the comfort segment because there is one thing that is specially famous about the Altroz, and that is the way the car doors open. They open at a wide 90 degrees. Similarly for the rear door as well, they open at 90 degrees, which gives you a lot of space to get in and out of the car. And this is the type of thinking that really tells me that Tata is thinking about all its customers, which is highly appreciated. Now for the segment that a lot of you may be waiting for, and that is the pricing of the iTurbo. All I can say that this car's pricing has been very competitively priced according to its competitors like the Polo GT and other cars. Now to tell you the exact pricing, I'll share a picture on your displays which gives you the information regarding all the variants and their prices. Alright, so driving the new Altroz iTurbo. Okay, so first of all, my initial impressions, we're going to talk about the visibility first, especially when we're taking this turn over here. The A pillars, the B pillars, everything is of very decent size, not protruding too much into the car. I can see very well the ORVMs, the IRVM, everything is of very decent size, I would say again. So visibility wise, there is no such kind of a problem in this car. I can see very well. Parking this car won't be a big problem, especially being a small hatchback. Maneuverability is going to be very good. Talking about other things such as the seats, perforated leather seats, as I told you, even going over the city road, which is like this road that you get in normal cars, in normal conditions as well, has a few bumps, very smooth road as well at times. So the seats are doing a very good job in absorbing all those bumps. I don't think there's going to be a problem in that as well. But the main selling point of this car has to do with the performance. So let's talk about that in very detail right now. I think we're going to move on to a little bit of a less tight road over here. Okay, so now that we've reached over here, we need to keep in mind that this car is still in city mode as of now. Okay, so let's put this car to its limits, putting down the throttle in this car. It's okay. I mean, it's not too much that it's throwing my head back. It's okay according to a family car. You know, you won't need much more power than this. Or like driving on the highway as well, if you're like going for an overtake in the car, this car is more than capable of doing it without a problem. But then we switch on to the sport mode in this car, and this car gives you actual good
Sport drive mode activated.
alert, as you can listen to it as well. Now that we're in sport mode, let's see if the throttle response has changed. Now, being a manual, so the sport mode I don't think is going to change too much during the gear shifts, because it's a manual car that is completely dependent on you. But then the way the power is being delivered, that I think will be hampered, and as soon as you do it, once again, no complaint. It's not like too much, once again, for throwing your head back, which can get uncomfortable sometimes, because Tata has to take care in mind that this is still a family car. You know, you don't want the car to be too jerky at times. It's perfect the way it is. Once again, when you put this car into sport mode, one thing that I do realize is that the steering wheel of this car has tightened up a lot, so that gives me much better handling than before. This car has to be the go-to car if you are looking for a hot hatchback with ample amount of performance, ample amount of comfort, ample amount of features, and all in all, I don't have a single problem recommending this car to anyone. What do you guys think about the new Tata Altroz iTurbo? I mean, I personally liked it, that's for sure. Tell me in the comments down below what you guys think. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, share this video as much as you can, and a red subscribe button push would go a long way, because it gives me motivation to create more such content just like this for you guys. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.